right, so I had very little time to prepare for this live stream today. I did some of it in the morning, but I just put my son in bed, and then I couldn't find my phone. I actually still have to I still have to tune my guitar, so it's super hectic right now for me. It's just getting everything ready. This is why I was starting a little bit later, so my apologies for that. So in this lesson today, hey Seven, how you doing? What is your real name? Is your name Seven, or is it something else? Anyways, but the purpose for today's lesson is to do a tutorial on the acoustic intro that I've put in front of a lot of my acoustic guitar tutorials. I stopped doing that at some point, but especially in the early years, I guess the first 7 years, I did that, I think without exception, except for maybe in the very early stages, because I don't know when I came up with that little thing. Oh, it's a nickname. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the first time I saw your name, I thought it was Sven. But anyways, but what is kind of funny about that intro is that in some way, it ties in very nicely with what I've been doing in the last couple of weeks. So the playing around with triads, right? So we had all these triads like A in different positions, then we had E, and then we had D. So for that, I'm just gonna do D with A in the bass. And this tune uses a lot of that. So in the beginning, basically what you're doing is playing an open A string, and then along with it, you're playing all these triads. So a couple of minor triads, a couple of major triads. So in some way, I guess it's the next step once you've done those triad exercises that we've done in the last couple of weeks. So what I'm going to do first is I'll show you what the chords are that I did here. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the picking pattern that goes with it. Once you start combining the two, then pretty much you already have the song, I guess. So let's start with this view here. If there's anything wrong with the stream, by the way, please let me know, because yeah, I mean, I just turned everything on and I was like, yeah, let's see. Maybe I put this a little bit to the front so it doesn't, so the neck doesn't interfere with the other thing. All right, so first of all, everything is played with an open A string, and then we have our first triad here. And this is a B minor triad, right? But it's in the first inversion. That means that the third is in the bass. So that is pinky on B12, middle finger on G11, and ring finger on D12, right? It's a very nice sound to it, I think. And then it resolves to the A major triad in first inversion. So that is middle finger on B10, index finger on G9, and ring finger on D11, right? So we have B minor over A, then you play this one here. So this is your E triad in second inversion. So that is D, G, and B in ninth. Then D in second inversion, right? So it's the same shape, but then a whole step down, right? So we have B minor over A, then A, then E over A, D over A, and then A in root position. So that is index finger on B5, middle finger on G6, and ring finger on D7, right? So and you can already hear the tune in there, right? Then you go to this one here, which is D over A in first inversion, so that it's middle finger on B3, index finger on G2, and ring finger on D4. That's when we start to go away from that A pedal note. So it go to a G chord here. That is G5 to be exact. So that's ring finger on B3 and middle finger on E3. I see that my hand is pretty blown out. So let's give that a little. Let's do this. That's probably going to help. Sorry, so that is ring finger on B3 and middle finger on E3. Then it goes to C at 9, so that ring finger stays on B3. Index finger goes to D2 and middle finger goes to A3. All right, so G5. So let's see, I'm almost confused here. So B minor, A, E, D, A, then D, G, then, oh yeah, then C at 9, and then the last chord is gonna be your E over G sharp. So that is pinky on B5, ring finger on G4, index finger on D2, and middle finger is gonna be on E4. There you go, right? So that is your, what is it called? Those are your chords. So now the next part is gonna be the picking pattern. So the picking pattern goes like this. Let me switch to this view. I'm going to wait until I see a change here because I want to make sure that everything that I want is in view. Yeah, it looks good to me. All right, so what do? So you start with that B minor chord, right? So that is pinky B12, middle finger G11, and ring finger on D12. You play the A string with your thumb, and then you play D and B with thumb and middle finger, right? Then you play A, G, D with thumb, index, thumb, right? So. Right? And then you do the next chord. There you start with A and B together, and then you play D, G, A, B, D, right? And that's on that A chord, so that is middle finger on B10, index finger on G9, and ring finger on D11, right? Right, so we have the B minor chord, and then we go to A. Right? Now I'm going to give my full hands-on view so you see both hands at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Then we go to that E chord, so that's ring finger on D, G, and B in 9th. And again, so you play with your thumb, you play the A string, and then you play D, G, and B with thumb, index, middle. So, then on the D chord, so that is a whole step down, you play A, then G and B with thumb, index and middle finger. Then you play the thumb again, right? So. And then you go to the A chord. There you play, so that's index finger on B5, middle finger G6, and ring finger on D7. And there you play A and B together. Then it's D, G, A, B, D, right? So from the B minor chords, so I get then, once we got that, we go to that D over A. So hold on, let me just play it through once more. So you get that D over A, so middle finger on B3, index finger G2, ring finger on D4. I play A, then D and B, and then A, G, D. So then you go to that G5, so ring finger on B3, middle finger on E3. There you play. And there you play E and B together with thumb and middle finger. Then D, G, thumb and index finger. Then A, B with thumb and middle finger. And then you play second position of the A string with your thumb. So then you get the C chord. Sorry. Yeah, so then we go to the C at 9 chord. So ring finger B3, index finger D2, and middle finger on A3. So you play A with your thumb, D and B, thumb and middle finger, and then A, G, D. And then you go to that E over G sharp, so that is pinky on B5, ring finger on G4, and index finger on D2, middle finger on low E4. So there you play E and B together, right? Thumb and middle finger. Then it's D, G, E, B, D. Right? So we have that is basically what is happening there. So let's start from the beginning. So we have B minor, slowly, A, E, D, A, D, G, C add 9, and then E over G sharp. And then when you start putting it together, basically, that's pretty much it. That is what I've used for that intro. Now, what I wanted to do, and you know what? I'm going to see if I can make that work. But you got to give me a second here to set it up. I'm wondering if that's going to work. I'm going to try. So I hooked up my computer to my ATEM. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a folder here. Let's see, documents. Let's see. Documents, downloads I need. Downloads, Acoustic Summer. So the thing is that there is a full version of this that I recorded a long time ago. But I'm pretty happy with it. And what I want to try is to play it. And I'm kind of wondering, I'm not sure if I can actually bring that into the stream. I think I have to save that for another time. That's actually, so that's why I wanted to start early, and now I'm kind of bummed out that I can't. How can I, how can I bring that into the stream? By the way, if you have any questions about anything like the triads that we did before, no, I mean not this lesson, but in previous lessons, but I mean in previous lessons, then put that in the comments. I'm just trying to quickly think, how am I going to get that song into my stream? I think I actually can do it. Hold on, I'm going to play it. So I'm hearing it there, but now you're going to hear it probably over here. And what I want to try to do, so I'm going to open up this and then audio. Oh, and it's also being picked up on the camera, but not on camera 4. All right. All right, so now I'm going to try this. So I'm going to switch there. I'm just going to try this. So hopefully this doesn't expose anything weird. Maybe we should check first. Somewhere else. Oh my gosh! If everybody's gonna leave, I totally get it. Maybe the anticipation is building. I don't know. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna hold my headset over. That's what I'm gonna do. Now I know. All right. So let's unplug this. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. See. All right. So I'm just gonna take off the headset. And then we can just listen to it together. And then you guys tell me what you think. Because I can do the entire tutorial, not today, but another time. But you tell me what you think. So I'm going to do this. All right, so I'm just going to put my headset near the speaker. All right. This is about as low tech. All right, I'll just hold it. All right, here we go. Oh, come on. All right, so that was that. That's it. It's kind of funny because now that I hear it back, I almost feel like this is a reaction video to that tune because um, oh, by the way, thanks Seven for the compliment. It's kind of funny because now hearing it, I remember how painful it was to play it in the studio because I was playing it on a steel string and I can hear myself struggling in those last sections. Right? I can hear my hands fatiguing. Um, and I know that a lot of what I did there was sort of all last minute additions to the song just to make it a little bit more interesting. But then we had to record it in one go. And I don't know, but the funny thing is I remember at the time that I was pretty bummed by how it sounded. Um, I wasn't happy because I just like every mistake that I made or everything that wasn't completely right just felt like it was pretty. I don't know. Like I don't know how you guys feel it, but in a previous stream, I mentioned that I feel that as an explosion inside me. It's pretty hard for me to take mistakes. And you'd think I'd study more, but I don't have I don't have time for that. So the mistakes are still there. But what was interesting is that now that I hear it all these years later, I'm like, it's actually not that bad. It's actually a pretty good rendition of that tune. But what I do think that I'm going to do is I'm going to re-record it. I think I'm just going to practice it on my nylon string and then put it on YouTube. Maybe I'll put this version on YouTube too, but it kind of feels weird to do so. So maybe get someone else to do the percussive part right here in Nelson where I live. But yeah, so a little bit of a different stream. It was super short. It's the last stream in July. And then starting August, I'll probably do a weekly stream, at least one, I think. But it depends because we're going to do a lot of camping. We've been camping a lot, but we're going to increase the camping part and reduce the music part in August. So we'll see what happens there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping that at some point these streams are going to get more and more interactive because that's really what I'm looking for. I'm at my best when I have a personal connection with the people that I'm working with. I think I should have started streaming years ago, but I was always afraid to do it. And I think slowly I'm starting to ease into it. So thank you so much for watching. And I will probably post sometime this week. I will post a streaming schedule for the upcoming month. And that's it. Wishing you a great week. And I'll see you again next time.